What's going on, guys? It's Jay and Joku, Sneaker Principal, and welcome to today's episode of the Sneaker Principal podcast. Before I start, actually, I've already started, so it is what it is. I'm dealing with a dilemma here. The dilemma is, one second, I gotta get some stuff. You can still hear me. The dilemma is whether it's appropriate to call this a podcast, seeing that I'm often, yes, a podcast in the sense that this can be listened to. I do try to set this up in a way that you can listen to it and don't have to actually watch the video. But also, if you do watch the video, hopefully it's engaging as well. So it's a debate: podcast or not a podcast. But yeah, so something that I'm trying to figure out if it makes sense. It's more intellectually speaking. But nonetheless, it's Saturday. I have to be at a birthday party for my daughter and my son. One of my daughter's classmates is having a birthday party, and the school that they attend, birthday parties are a big deal. So yeah, it's a lot of birthday parties. At least the number of students during her class, plus sometimes we get invited to the other class as well, the other kindergarten class, for birthday parties. And then from time to time, my son's school, birthday parties as well. So that's something that I'm used to growing up with. But nonetheless, I just got back from the gym. I'm not sure. I went to the gym this morning, got a really, really good workout. Real quick, those of you who are of a certain age, I'm going to remind you again, it is very, very important to engage in physical fitness, making sure you get your workout in. And the workout doesn't have to be you, like, in the gym like Hulk Hogan or the Incredible Hulk, Captain America or Black Panther. It just means just get some physical activity in. Your body is not meant to just be sitting around doing nothing. Often people are like, yo, it's been a long week, I'm tired. So they'll sit on the couch all weekend long or do things that are just force them to be lethargic and not getting any movement in. Not knowing is that they're making themselves even more tired, because what's happening is the physical activity that you need to get your hormones and your body pumping, the blood flow to the brain, is further exacerbated in fatigue. Because funny thing is this: if you want to not be so tired, you have to work out so you can reach the right, endorphins and all that good stuff in your body, so that when you are tired, you have that extra energy. But if you're just tired all the time, then everything else atrophies. So you just stay in a constant state of tired. So I got to the gym today, worked on, I was going to run, but I said, I'm just going to lift some weights. I lift weights maybe once or twice. I'll be honest with you, I get in a good, weight training maybe once or twice every 2 weeks. Most of the rest of the time I'm doing mostly light running, pull-ups, a lot of push-ups. But today I got some iron in, mostly shoulder, upper back, chest. I had a pretty bad shoulder injury years ago that had to be repaired. So I know that I have to constantly work it and make sure the muscles are activated. Even to this day, there's always kind of like that faint, not pain, but faint awareness that this shoulder is not like this shoulder. But I still put in work. I still push both of them equally. And then after that, went grocery shopping. My refrigerator is empty. I don't know if you can see this. My refrigerator is bare. So right now I'm going to stock up. And my refrigerator is usually bare because what I eat usually is a lot of steak. I eat a lot of steak, and I try to balance it out with avocados, so I can have a complete whole food meal. I need the proteins and I need those essential fats and other nutrients from the avocado. But yeah, the other thing too is whenever my kids are with me, I gotta have food. They're growing kids, so I went out and got some of the stuff they like. They love patties. This is from Grace, Jamaican style patties. Um, it comes two in a pack. So this is the uh, curry chicken and mild beef. So stocking that up for them. Then Red Baron pizza. The beef you're hearing is in the refrigerator telling me its doors are open, so don't worry about that. So pizza. Uh, so I was trying to make sure that I get the stuff that they want. They love the Eggos. So this is usually for breakfast. So stocking that in here. Actually, you know what though? I don't put the box in there usually. So what I do is usually because these are pre-packaged, so I just throw them in here. So yeah. So I'm going to talk to you while I am, stocking the refrigerator with my kids' delicious snacks. So what I want to talk to you about is I've been spending time reflecting on my journey in content creation and how it's amazing how so many people, especially educators, are so adverse to social media, even though they use it. I've been asked to do a project that I'm not going to go into much detail about right now. But in this project, for the most part, is creating content for a pretty respected organization around branding and rebranding schools. And the thing is, as I'm talking to folks about what this thing can look like, most of the conversation has been geared around like logos and paint schemes and new swag for the school. And I'm thinking to myself, man, that is so low-hanging fruit. Not even low-hanging fruit. It's so disconnected from the reality of where we are today when it comes to what branding is. And I try to explain to people, and if you're watching this right now and you're a school leader, think about this. Branding has to do with trust. 100% trust. It's not about logos and color schemes and all that stuff. It's about trust. At the intersection of logos and font types and all that beautiful things is trust. I'll tell you why. No, I'll give a perfect example. When you see the Mercedes-Benz logo, 90% of the time you trust that it is a quality product. Unless you've owned one and you've had a string of bad luck with that particular brand, then you might be different. But most people, when they see Mercedes, they're thinking, ooh, money, affluence. When you see BMW, same thing. You see Coca-Cola, same thing. There's all these companies out there. Real quick, for those of you, I'm telling you right now, none of my videos are sponsored by anyone, but I gotta tell you, bone broth. I consume a lot of bone broth because of protein. It's a great way to get protein and in a very, very low calories. So this pack right here is one serving, and it's 19 grams of protein. So what I do is I take a pack of ramen noodles, maybe 2 packs, boil it in the bone broth, and I might use one of the packets for just additional flavor from the ramen noodles. So rather than using the 2 packets from the 2, I just take one, boil in the bone broth, and you have a pretty satisfying meal that's pretty low calorie, but you get 19, 20 grams of protein. So, and I don't eat it every day, but I have it because if I'm not having my steak, I might just not feel like, making a steak. I'll just make that and I'm good to go for the night. So you guys are getting all my secrets as far as my very, very basic diet. So yeah, so branding, like I'm saying, like it's about building trust. And the question is, how do you build trust within a school? Yes, with time you can have things like trust because of the school's performance and the history and what the school's doing. Yeah, that can happen in time. But in the beginning, how do you build trust in the beginning when you don't have those things? You know, like how do you build? Um, yeah, I know it's a Target bag. I did not go to Target, but I keep their bags so I can. But you know, here in New York, um, every they don't give you plastic bags anymore. It's all paper bags. So whenever I get non-disposable bags, I keep them. I take them with me so I can put my paper bags in there so they don't rip. But okay. So how do you build trust? How do you establish a school's identity? You know, or reestablish it? And I'll tell you this: in the beginning, until the school becomes known for whatever it's known for, it's the leader. It's the leadership. The leadership is the basis of the trust that a school has, which means the leader should have a pretty strong brand. No, does that community trust you? You know, I mean, that's one thing that we don't think about. You know, we're always thinking about just the school. But my thing is the leader themselves. Um, Whenever I hear about a school that's doing really well and people are like, oh my God, you guys see the school. The first thing I do is I always look up the leader. Unless it's a school that has historically performed highly. I'm talking about a school like here in New York City, we hear Bronx Science, Brooklyn Tech. You hear the Frank Sinatra School. You hear LaGuardia. Did I say LaGuardia already? Stuyvesant. These schools, Millennium, these schools are just monsters in performance. You know, and they have these themes in science and the arts and all these things where you just know when you hear that school, it doesn't matter who the principal is. And most of the time, you don't even have to know who the principal is. You just know that that school is the business. But what do you do when you have a school that doesn't have that reputation and is trying to establish that reputation? Like a school that's on the verge of being probably closed down because of low performance, and parents are pulling their kids out, and you're trying to find a way to establish trust and get people loving the school again. What you usually do, if the principal who's there is not doing the work, you remove that principal and you bring in a new principal. When you bring in that new principal, you tell them, well, you have X amount of time to now do this turnaround work. But however, how do they turn something around that is so broken? What else is there outside of trust me that you don't know to possibly turn this around? My answer to that is this. There should be training or some kind of conversation or mentorship or coaching leaders to establish their own personal brands. So that when you walk into a space, in time, you've developed a reputation, you have a body of work, so that school community says, oh, wow, we're excited. We just got this person, because we've seen what they have done. You might say, but wait a minute, that it's not about the individual. Every time a Fortune 500 company gets a new CEO, 90% of the time that CEO is coming from another Fortune 500 company. Or that CEO is coming up the ranks and has established a killer reputation. Something about them stands out so much that people are excited. This person is coming over here. This person has done this here and there and there and there, and this is the skill sets that they come into this space. This is the vision they come in there with. So that is something that's really hardly ever done. And it's not done because, I don't think it's not done because people don't want to do it, because it's not part of the culture of turning around schools. Schools are still treated like these lower class institutions that are not organizations like other organizations. I tell people all the time, I run a multi-million-dollar company as the principal of my school. And there's some schools that are pretty big in New York City where the principal is managing $20, $30 million, even in some cases even more. And you stand them next to a CEO of a Fortune 1000 or a middle-sized company with revenue in the millions, and you ask them, what do you do as a principal versus what you do as a CEO of this company? I guarantee you the CEO of that company um, can hold a torch to the days and weeks and months that the principal of this school has, or what they have to deal with. Not even the same realm. So we can establish the fact that there's skill sets that sets principal aside from other kinds of leaders. But then why don't we treat them like CEOs? Why don't we give them the opportunity to work with mentors and vendors and coaches that helps them establish their brand, their vision, to have things packaged the way companies package what they package. And I'll tell you this: if people believe in the leader, change will happen. If the leader is just part of the fabric of the building, and it's like, okay, there's no difference between the leader and the chair in the classroom, because everything is just trash. There's no movement. Even when you have amazing leaders. Real quick, snacks. My kids love snacks. Snack time. Dad, can we have a snack? So I have to be very, very conscious about what I give them. My go-to is Glutino. These are faux Oreo cookies. They're gluten-free. My son loves chocolate. My daughter loves vanilla. Sometimes they interchange. So I give them maybe 2 or 3 at a time. And listen, that's how I do snack time. The other thing that I do with snack time is I always get these fresh fruits. And they're blueberries, raspberries, strawberries, blackberries, and some slices of mangoes in here. They never eat the mangoes, so I eat the mangoes. But I put this for them, snack time, they devour it. So always try and keep it healthy in the Njoku household. And then for the alternative, like they have to like have done something amazing, or they're so hyped I need to get them down, calm down, sit down. I do the tostones to go. They're pretty good. Again, they're vegan, non-GMO, and I'll do the premium sweet, and I'll do the just salted. And what I'll do is I'll take 2 bags and mix them into a bowl, and they eat out of the bowl together. But that's how I do it for the snacks. And I always make sure they don't know what snacks are here, so they're always surprised. Even though it takes to be the same thing, I always make sure that snack time is also a surprise. So they're not used to. In some households, snack time is snack time. Usually when they ask for snack time, it's because they're getting hungry and it's about to be meal time. So what I'll do is I'll give them a little bit as I'm preparing food, or it might be something a little bit after breakfast, that long stretch between breakfast and lunch. Dad life. This is my personal favorite. I grew up in California. I'm Nigerian, but I grew up in California. Tortilla chips. Always got to have a bag of tortilla chips. And I always have guacamole and pico de gallo. I like it. This one is mild, but sometimes I often like it spicy, but I couldn't find the spicy one that I like. So, and that's right there. That's daddy snack. But yeah, so branding. That's the thing with branding. You gotta have you gotta really think about that. We need to stop just thinking about the leader. I'm sure the school solely as what needs to be turned around. The first step in turning around any company, and especially when you look for new leadership, is to find a specific type of leader who has a specific type of skill set that can go into that school and turn things around. It starts with the leader, and often we don't talk about that. But what does happen is the leader does turn the school around and makes it happen. Then we celebrate the leader. So it's almost like you're great only after you've done something great, versus you're great let's support you to bring that greatness here and accelerate, turning around an environment. Yeah. So my guilty pleasure, um, I go to there's a supermarket here in New York called Stop and Shop. It's all around the city, and their deli has sushi, and it's actually pretty good. I know, but it's actually pretty good. They make it fresh every single day. So this one here is California roll and shrimp tempura. So this is gonna be my quick little meal before I head out to go pick up the kids to go to the birthday party. What time is it? So I have about an hour left. And all right, so yeah, so I want you to think about that. Lastly, I want to share with you. This has nothing to do with branding. Maybe it does. Maybe it does actually. Branding fatherhood. I don't know. So as you guys know, my kids typically spend the weekend with me. And I'm always trying to find ways so when they come here, I'm not good at this stuff. I didn't grow up in a household where we celebrated holidays, things like that. We celebrated each other in the most loving way possible, but we weren't, embedded in American culture. So we didn't do Christmas like most people did Christmas. We didn't do Valentine's Day and Thanksgiving in those ways. We really didn't. There were, as I got older, there were attempts where I would, because of my younger siblings, set up a Christmas tree and things like that so they could have something similar. But me personally, my time growing up, I didn't have any of those things. So to be a father now and try to find ways to kind of create those experiences for my kids, I won't lie, it's a little tough, but I'm being intentional. So we're coming into the season of Valentine's. So my kids are going to be coming after the birthday party. They're going to spend the night here. So just little touches of things that I'm going to do with them when they come. So they know that this is part of their story and their cultural upbringing, or traditions. I think that's the word. I'm overthinking things. So I went to Marshall's. Marshall's is combined with Home Goods and of where I live, and I bought things like this. This is the festive ornament for the door. So it's made out of felt material and it has little hearts in there. The Christmas one is still out there, which is also made out of felt material. It's still out on the door, but we're going to do a ceremonial exchange of the door ornament. There's not a lot of things, little display. What do you even call these things? I don't know. There's a hand carved wooden block, but it says love. So we're going to find a place to put it. And this is just a few things for right now. Eventually, we'll add a few more things as we get closer to Valentine's Day. A tub of candy, So I don't know. I like cotton candy. They like cotton candy, but definitely they can't consume too much of it at one sitting. But we're going to find a place to put this as well. And then, again, this is the beginning. If you have any ideas, I found this little candy jar, but I think you can also use for candles and things like that. But I decided to use this for as a candy jar, and got some Italian chocolates. I like it because this one here is purple and silver, so we're gonna pour it in here, and at least some of them. And this one is gold and red. My son's favorite color is orange, so the way he thinks, if there's no orange there, he's cool with red and gold or red and yellow, because when you mix red and yellow, you get orange. That's how my son thinks. And then, of course, the pink, silver, fuchsia, whatever, but it's pink. My daughter loves pink as well. So that's what we're doing after the birthday party. But that's it for now. Branding is very important that we think beyond just logos and font types and school colors and uniform types, and really start thinking about, if you're going to brand a school, especially when we're talking about doing turnaround work, that the first thing you do is find the right leader, and that leader should have a brand. But for that to be typical, over the course of time, we need to train leaders as they make their moves and they develop to identify what is your brand, what is that thing that you do, that when they hear your name, they know, oh, that's the person. You know, and it doesn't. You don't have to be a principal. You could be assistant principal. You could be a teacher leader. Figuring out what is that thing that you do so well that will be the cornerstone of your career. And for me, it's turnaround work. I mean, that's the thing. I love broken things. I love things that they want to throw away because I believe even in the worst condition, everything, every school um, has that what it takes, what is required to become great. The question is, do you have the right person at the helm to build community and to get the team together to really figure that thing out and make it happen? All right, y'all. This is Uche and Joku. Thank you so much for taking the time out to watch me put away groceries, talk about school branding, and the call to action is exactly this: what is your brand as a leader? And if you're in a school, what is your principal's brand? What's your assistant principal brand? What is that thing about them that sets them aside that you see? And if you're the leader, what's that thing that sets you aside? All right, y'all. Uche and Joku, Sneaker Principal. Till next time, be well.